All right. Yo, what is going on today, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today's video, we're talking about junglers. I want to go on a little bit of a rant about them because I think junglers are in a really weird spot currently where the best junglers aren't even actual like jungle characters. Like the actual assassins don't really get to play the game very much. They're not really picked all too much, and it's mostly because there's another class of, or another pseudo class of characters that really just dominate the game currently. And going into it and looking at the actual characters, the 5 gods that really stand out, Aladdin will put a pin in. I think Aladdin is like the one assassin that I think is playable and you're not really griefing. I think he's a very, very strong character. I think he's fine. He does damage. He's safe. He can assassinate. He can also team fight pretty well. I think Aladdin's great. Aladdin, I'm good with. After Aladdin, though, there's about 4 characters that don't really play the jungle role. There's about 4 characters that aren't really assassins, but they play the jungle role. First one is Achilles. I think Achilles is in an interesting spot where he kind of becomes a jungler with his aspect, so I think it's a little bit different. He's intended to be a jungler with the aspect. It makes him a lot quicker, makes him, you know, a little less tankier. And actually there was a bug last time that I was playing him where you were still getting the bonus protections on the 2 no matter what. So there is kind of like a towards it, but Achilles is still a warrior through and through. He still plays more like a warrior where he kind of runs at you. That's kind of like what he does. He's not really an assassin, get in there, one shot, get out. He's in there to run at you, kill you, and then either snowball the fight or kind of play to like CC and set up. You don't really build full damage. A lot of times you're building 4 damage items with 2 defense items or 5 damage items with like a mantle, but he is still a warrior. And the next one's Alma, which again, her aspect just makes it where she just does so much more damage building, you know, 2 defense items than even assassins do building full damage. This aspect is too strong. It's far too valuable. I mean, even solo lane Amaterasus aren't even picking up regular Alma. They prefer to just have this aspect because it's that strong. And even with this Alma, I mean, you're going like 3 damage items and then you're going like 3 tank items, like Pharaohs, Berserkers, Mantle, something like that. And you're just running it down and you're just untradeable with that build. The next one, yes, he got nerfed, but it doesn't matter. And this is the first one that actually doesn't use the aspect. The aspect is probably the worst aspect in the game. But he is just so strong because of the protections he's getting for free. Apotheosis. I've said this in multiple YouTube videos, I swear. Apotheosis is giving you 2 per level. Level 20, you're going to be getting 40 protections of each. And then your 3 also gives you 40 protections at level 5. So you're getting 80 protections of each late game if you're in Apotheosis state and you pop your 3. That is insane. This character can build full damage or, you know, 5 damage items, and he's an absolute tank still, just because of the stats he's getting from Mitigate Wounds and Apotheosis. And the last one is Fenrir, and I want to make a claim that I think current Fenrir plays like a warrior more than he plays like a jungler. With Brutalize, you know, giving you this triggering both ability and basic attack effects. It can crit, also giving you protections. I think Fenrir is in a very unhealthy state. I know a lot of players have complained, at least on the EU side of things, about how broken Fenrir is. It hadn't really made its way over to NA until recently, but it is not fun to play against where a character is doing more damage to you because he's proccing stuff with this ability. You can't CC him off unless if you're like jumping away or stunning him. Or taunting him, like actual hard CC, not displacement. And he's also just getting more protection, so he's, for the most part, just out-trading you in that regard. There's just very few ways to actually fight a defender right now, and he's playing and building like he's a solo lane tank. He's building Berserkers, he's building Void Shields. Like, that's kind of the way to play jungle right now, and these are the 4 gods that are dominating. They're not really assassins, they're more so warriors. You compare him to... You compare him to some of the other assassins, the Hunbots, the Loki, the Nemesis, Pele, Susano. I mean, even when you see Thanatos and Thor, it's mostly in like a tank regard. It's not really them building damage. I would agree that I think most assassins just don't have great items right now. I think Tekko is an unhealthy item, and I think it doesn't need to be buffed, but I think there are ways to buff the characters' kits and to nerf the value of Achilles, Alma, Fenrir, and Hercules. Like, Hercules and Fenrir should not get that many protections just for free. I think if you're going to have Fenrir 3 proccing ability and basic attack effects, you can't give it protections. For Hercules, this is just way too many protections for free. I would actually rather have this character get more strength and lower these protections so that you actually have to build into survivability to survive. I think it's way too high. Achilles is another one. I think his 3 is just far too low of a cooldown. 10 seconds. You're casting it multiple times in a fight. And on top of that, you're just getting so many stats from Gift of the Gods in your 2. I think you can pretty easily nerf that. And then Alma, this aspect has just got to be absolutely nuked. It is just way, way too OP. But beyond that, I do think that there's a way to... beyond that, I think there's a need for buffs to assassin items. But for the most part, I think the items are at least buildable. You could buff them, but I think a lot of these characters have just kind of been nuked over and over again until they're no longer really viable. I think Loki is fine. I think Bots is fine. I think Pele's fine. Susanoo's fine. They're all fine characters, but they just are not close to these other jungler warriors like Achilles, Fenrir, and Hercules. So I want to see some nerfs to these characters, their aspects, whatever it is. I'm really not a fan of playing against these characters all the time, because if they do get ahead, you just aren't killing them and they're just one-shotting you. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys have been playing a lot of ranked, do you guys have to deal with this also? Are they very unfun in your guys' ranked? Are they very unfun in your guys' ranks also? I want to know what you guys think, but I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys have fun today. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.